Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to my Trying a New Makeup Product Every Day series. I'm laughing because I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder right now and my skin is so pink. My shirt is pink, my backdrop is pink. This whole view right now is pink and it's not very flattering, I'll admit it. So we gotta get on to putting some makeup onto this face. But let's get into the product that I'm trying out. So I'm going to be trying out this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. It's silicone-free blurring. So this is a sample. I think I got this from Ulta as a sample. And the full-size version retails for $39. So I'm excited to be able to try out a sample to figure out if I really think it's worth spending that much. But it sounds exactly like the type of primer that I love, because it's supposed to be blurring to fine lines, pores, and imperfections. And I love when a primer can help minimize the appearance of the large pores that I have along my cheeks and my nose. Also on my chin, I could definitely use some blurring. It says it's a breathable formula that seals in skincare and creates a protective barrier that extends makeup wear. Which, doesn't that sound like exactly what you would love for your primer to do? So let's check this out. I'm so curious to see what the texture is going to be like. All right, so I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit out into my finger. Okay. I mean, first impression, it just looks like a cream, like a little face cream. So I'm going to just apply this to one half of my face, so that we can really see the difference. Oh, I noticed that it actually is a little bit thicker than it looked when I first squeezed it out. So more like a thick, almost balm-like texture that, wow, definitely mattifies and seems to be doing some blurring, but a little bit did not go a long way. So I'm gonna take some more, apply it to the chin. I really like the feel of this on my skin. I like this balmy texture. And as you blend it in, you can feel it almost kind of drying down. And it really does feel like it's creating that barrier. So cool. I'm gonna apply it to half of my nose. I don't get any scent to this. But I definitely think that it looks like there's a layer over the pores, which hopefully when I apply foundation looks very smooth. But they do look minimized, but not as invisible or minimized as other primers can be. But it still made a difference, but not to the point where I feel like I don't even need to wear foundation. And that's just my personal preference, insecurity about the size of the pores that I have focused here on my cheeks and my nose. And then just going to apply it to the forehead so that I have the entire half of my face covered in the primer. And so the most obvious difference is the mattified effect, but it's a very soft matte, like not drying at all. There's the tiniest bit of tackiness to it, but overall it has a nice soft texture. But I just really do feel like it created a smooth matte barrier on top of all of my skin's texture. It's like hard to tell the texture of pores, but just the feel of my skin. Like this side seems so smooth. I love it. I wish there was a little bit more visible difference, but it just seems very invisible on the skin. But now to apply foundation, no surprise, I am going in with the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, which after this video, I am going to declare empty. I'm actually using my little spatula. I forget what these are called, like spatty or something, which is a very genius tool, especially for this type of bottle, to just scrape out the foundation, because it has a pump, yet it's a small glass bottle. So it's like, how are you really supposed to get all of the foundation out of there? I'll tell you how with this spatula, which is very genius because this has extended the use of this foundation for me so much than just, oh, it's not pumping up any more foundation and got to throw it out. Like, there was so much more product left in here. So I am going to apply the foundation to the side of my face without the primer to start, just so that I don't accidentally mix in any primer or anything like that. But in case you're not familiar with my videos, I always use this e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation because it's a great foundation, but it completely changes no matter how my skin and the primer looks underneath. Like, it can look textured, it can look smooth, it can look matte, it can look glowy. It's very interesting. So like, I can see, of course, redness peeking through, but the texture of the pores, it doesn't look bad, but it's just not completely smooth in texture. And okay, let's see how the other side with the primer looks. I do feel like the foundation is sticking well onto the primer. It's not slipping and sliding, so blending out easily. All right, so foundation is applied. And doing really up close, analyzing my skin, and the difference is definitely not drastic, but to focus on where I have the most texture to my skin, the pores definitely look smoother. Like, it really does seem like there is that barrier layer on top of the pores, creating more of a smooth texture compared to the side of my face without the primer. But as far as the texture, I mean, it looks maybe a little bit more matte on the side with the primer versus without it. I really do think this does what it claims, is creating that barrier, smoothing out the imperfections. So I like the look of the side with the primer better. And now it's just going to come down to how the makeup lasts. So I will continue wearing this for the rest of the day and let you know in the description down below. I'm going to type out my wear test results and let you know how the foundation lasts, if it stays looking more smooth on the side with the primer versus without it, if the coverage and the makeup lasts longer on top of the primer versus without it. But I definitely am going to continue using this up. I feel like this sample isn't going to last me that long because I kind of had to use a lot, but I like it. I want to keep using it because I like this smooth barrier, but I don't think it's the most amazing primer I've ever tried to the point where I would spend $39 on it, because to me, that's expensive for something that I don't feel like is all that different compared to a drugstore primer. But of course, I always like to hear your opinion on the products in the comments down below, so definitely let me know your thoughts on this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. And as always, thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day, and I will see you tomorrow in my next video.